Hey everybody, Tooth here. How's it going? So, it is still 3 December 24. This is the second video we're doing tonight. And this is kind of a caveat off of the other video we just released. And kind of really getting down into what this channel is all about. So, we are looking at individuals. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at you as an individual. And you are just now starting to get into the outdoors. Excuse me, being camping, being whatever, but we're going to cover camping this evening. So, you're new to this. Let's do it this way. Let's look at extreme weather camping, heat, which does suck, not going to lie. But I want to tell you, if you're going to do it, be by a lake, be by a river, so you can go cool off. Because that's one of the things we do. We do have it. We do. I hope we still do. But we didn't do it this year. Hopefully we do it next year. We go down to Broken Bow, camp on the Glover River for Memorial Day, Labor Day. It's hot, but honestly, we set the tents up, we do our thing, we sit around, we BS around the campfire, we drink, we hang out with friends, we spend a little bit of time fishing, we do a lot of static fishing, everything just kind of sitting in place, limb lines, trot lines and stuff. And while that stuff is doing the fishing, we spend a lot of our time just sitting in the river, drinking beer, joking back and forth with each other, being friends and family and all that good stuff. The other two places to look at camping is the spring and the fall. And what I recommend is when temperatures are getting down around 50, 60 degrees at night, because you can go to Walmart, you can get you an Ozark Trail tent to sleep inside of to keep the weather off of you if need be. They're pretty good for a couple of years. You got to replace them. They do wear out. We ran one into the ground to where the floor was leaking when it would rain, be 100% honest with you. Um, but so you've got your tent, you've got your sleeping bag, and you'll need 2 ice chests, one for food. You want to keep your food and your drinks separate, just to be honest with you. If you put ground hamburger meat in your food, you get bloody ice water all over the place, but the rest of your food's still good because you're going to cook it anyway. It's not like you're going to open a bottle of water or beer and have bloody water all over your beer or water. So we've got that. So basically, got that. So we got the tent, 2 ice chests, sleeping bags. Let's get a hatchet or something along those lines so we can cut up wood for fire. Because even if you're camping in the summertime, you're going to want a fire for cooking. So that's the 5 things you need right off the bat if you're doing a public lake or public river. If you're going to break off and get off onto no man's land or something like that, highly recommend a sidearm, which is your 6th item. Not necessarily for shooting stuff, but just for it's an investment for self-defense. And also, if you're out where I'm at right now, a bear comes up, shoot around into the soft ground, the bear's going to run off. There you go. It's probably going to work better than the bear spray, just because watching all the videos on YouTube, cops arresting people when they use their pepper spray, they generally get a dose of it themselves. So human on human, maybe not so bad, but bear on human, and the bear is really pissed off, and you're incapacitated as well, not going to go so well. So there's that. That's my philosophy. That's my point. Um, yeah, I mean, if you're going to do this, get into it and get it done. A lot of this conversation came from us with having it with my son. Is he's talking about coming up here in a deer season or two, and he wants to have his own tent, his own stove, and everything else. Man, the reason I'm saying do those time frames is because it's the cheapest way to go to get started to make sure you really want to do this if you're brand new and to get into this. Because we did a video on the white duck and we kind of covered the grizzly stove in it, and that right there is a $1,500 investment. That's a big investment for getting out and doing this. And I would really hate to see you jump in and say, I'm doing this, because I'd be really happy for you, but you come out and you found out how much work it is, how much more equipment and gear you have to have for cold weather camping than what you do summer weather camping, because now we've already got our 5 thing. Well, your Ozark Trail tent ain't gonna work up here this time of year. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. You're gonna have to buy a decent tent with the stove jack to get the stove in it to stay warm, and you're probably gonna be sleeping in thermals or polys to keep yourself warm inside your sleep system, unless you buy the right sleep system. And then when you wake up in the morning, you want to get out and you want to go do something, it's going to be cold because your stove went out in your tent. There's a whole lot of things into the cold weather thing that aren't there in the hot weather thing. The hot weather thing is just there. You got to deal with it. Just make sure you got enough water to keep yourself hydrated. You'll be 100% good to go. Promise. I've been doing it. I really like doing it. I like camping, period. I just like getting away and unplugging. And I know saying I'm plugging it and I'm making these videos and I'm putting them up on this channel, but I don't want to see this disappear, because in my biggest mindset, if this style of fun disappears, what you wind up with is every Tom, Dick, and Harry that inherits land from his grandparents or his parents, who doesn't want to put forth the work to keep it up and keep it going. They sell off to people and they make neighborhoods. They do this. This right here, I mean, maybe that's what's screwing up my deer season. It's a prime example. It's been 3 years since I've been down to the bottom of that hill, and this year's the first time I went down there in a long time. I have never seen a street sign at the bottom of this mountain. And guess what? There are street signs down there now telling you what road you're on, where you're going. And I'm like, what the hell? All that tells me is there's neighborhoods popping up. Hopefully, in the long run, once it gets settled out down there, it pushes all the deer up here on me. I get better deer seasons instead of a crappy deer season like I'm doing this year. So, like I said, if this disappears, you're not doing it. I'm not doing it. Where is this going to go? That's the question, I guess. But the information I just gave you all is the exact same information I gave my son, which he has a 6-month-old daughter now. Like I said, he's a young dad. He's got a wife of 2 years. She wants to come out. She wants to do this stuff. So talking with him, he's going to take my advice. They're going to give it a shot. So I hope this works for you. This is, like I said, this is what this channel is going to be about. Go ahead and tell you right now, I want to give you a tip on, this tip applies to hot weather, cold weather, whatever type of camping. So that fire right there has been off and on going for the past, I'm going to say 2 weeks. I think that's about how long I've been up here now, because I got a little bit before deer season started. One fire starter. You see that hellacious bed of coals down there? Maintain that bed of coals. When you're ready to go to bed at night, throw us what we call a rotted log or smoldering log on top of it. It will protect your coals. It won't burn. It just smolders all night long. Then when it's time to get up in the morning, you get out of your tent, you want to cook breakfast, you want to do whatever, you kind of clean it up, find the coals, put little crumblings of leaves or pine needles on it, put little twigs on it, give it a minute or two, boom, you have a fire. It's going again. I promise you, it works. Depending on how things go, we'll probably do a video on that. Sorry, man, that chili really screwed that stew recipe up, and it went to chili real fast. Man, it's getting me. So just that stuff right there, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're going to try to get this channel back into. I guess that's it must be a star back there. Well, if this light wasn't on and this had a decent camera on it, you see a whole bunch of stars up there, be 100% honest with you. So, and that's the other thing. You make neighborhoods out of all this stuff. You ain't going to have nowhere to go look at the stars because everything's going to be so bright you can't see them. That's one of the things my wife loves about this. She comes out here, man, we'll sit here and we'll turn a lantern off, we'll have the fire going, and we'll look at stars in the Milky Way all night long and just talk about things, life in general, how much we love each other, and all that good stuff that married couples should do. So, but yeah, there you go. There's your 5 starters. There's your tip for your fire. I'll try and get this channel right, I promise, and I'll try and get past what I think is common sense to you all, to me, but it's new to you all, so you all learn how to do it too. Y'all have a good one. Tooth out.